We're getting ready. Hello.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Malty Monday. Tonight we are doing Irish Red. Before I dive into all this, though, it is Memorial Day, so I do want to take a moment of silence for our brave men and women in our armed forces that have unfortunately lost their lives for our freedom, so we can live in this great country in America. So we can just take a pause. Okay, I appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So tonight on the panel, we have to my right or something. I keep messing that up. Whatever. We got Beer Man. We have Louisiana Irish Red Reviews. Who's Louisiana Beer Reviews, also known as Ron. We have Miscellaneous Magnets and Thomas Metal 75, aka Eric.
Hello.
And myself, Bumpy Road. You can call me Jess.
What's up?
I was gonna say you can call me Jeff, but I also want to say thank you to the chat and everybody else that's watching. Cheers to Kyle. Cheers to Nina Yordi popping in. Appreciate that. And myself. Nice of me to chat a little bit with the chat. So Irish Reds. Let's just read a little bit of what it says under the BJCP about them. It says the overall impression is an easy drinking pint, often with subtle flavors, slightly malty in the balance, sometimes with an initial soft toffee/caramel sweetness, a slight grainy biscuity palate, and a touch of roasted dryness in the finish. Some versions can emphasize the caramel and sweetness more, while others will favor the grainy palate and roasted dryness. The comments on this, several variations exist within the style, which causes the guidelines to be somewhat broad to accommodate them. Traditional Irish examples are relatively low in hops, are grainy with a slight roast dryness in the finish, fairly neutral in general. Modern export Irish examples are more caramelly sweet and might have more esters. American craft versions are often more alcoholic versions of the Irish export examples. An emerging Irish craft beer scene is exploring more bitter versions of traditional examples. Finally, there are some commercial examples that sound Irish but are essentially international amber lagers.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, interesting. With Swedish palates and little bitterness. These guidelines are written around the traditional Irish examples, but we're not going with the traditional. We're just going with Irish Reds, but this is what it says here. Let's go down to history. It says, while Ireland has a long ale brewing heritage, the modern Irish red ale style is essentially an adaptation of interpretation. I like how they rhyme all this stuff. Of the popular English bitter style, with less hopping and a bit of roast to add color and dryness. Rediscovered as a craft beer style in Ireland, today it is an essential part of most brewery lineups, along with a pale ale and a stout. Okay, very good.
Hey.
So, Beer Man, I hope that you have an Irish Red tonight.
I do.
You
sir.
do? Okay, good, because you are first up.
I traveled about 30 minutes for this sucker. So south of me, I got one. It's a Smithwick's Red Ale. It's an Irish Red. It's 4.5% ruby red brew with a gentle hop bitterness and a sweet malt finish. I had to buy the 6-pack, so I've had them throughout the week since I got it, and down to my last one here. So. Definitely a malty beverage. Two or so finger head. It's got a nice caramel fruity. There's a fruity ester coming out of it. It's also caramel and a roast. There's a bit of a roasted. It kind of smells a lot like a more roasted version of Newcastle or something like that. There is a bit of breadiness. There's some crust from the white bread, untoasted kind of breadiness going on. It's very nice. Nut fruitiness. I like that. Lacing's already starting to formulate around the glass. We got a nice off-white head, somewhat white. It's foamy. It's very very malty looking. Let's put it that way. And malty it is. It's a ruby color. It's got a reddish brown tint to it. It's got a fast rising bubble, and it's very clear, very clean, very well filtered. Let's drink.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Caramel, very slight caramel, very slight toffee, very it's got like around the palate you get like these tastes. It's very poppy at first on the front and swirls around and pushes these toffees and these caramels, and then in the back it's kind of a faster finish, maybe a fast medium finish. Dries off in the back actually very nicely. You get the sweetness and the soft palate rolling back down to that tiny little thing that hangs off your throat, and then it starts to dry off. So it's really nice. It's a very good beer. Session beer, and I'd buy it again for real. This is a very good beer. So
Awesome.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, I used to drink Smithwick's all the time.
Yeah.
I was talking to you, Bearman, earlier. It was just you and I, and yeah, Smithwick's and Killian's, but for the Irish Reds. I won't talk about the Hogarden.
Oh yeah. That's a good one though. I like Hogarden. It's good.
All right. So
Cheers.
next up, we have Ontario, Louisiana Beer Reviews. And he has a special treat for us on this beer.
Yes, hello. Welcome. Too much glare, huh? All right. Hold on a second.
The sun is strong.
I know. I can't believe it. It's still out there. Sun's still out there. All right. Now, this is an old book from 2005, and there's an article on it about, that's the older label, Killian's Irish Red. It's a long, complicated history. I'm not going to go into all of that, but I'll put it to you like this. In 1864, the Killian's company was started with making red ales. And then in 1950s, in Ireland. And then in 1956, they went out of business. So then there's this French company. Y'all hear me all right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just check. There was a French company called Pelforth that bought the rights to it from the family, and they said, okay. So then Pelforth still makes it. I was looking on a French grocery store website, and it's called George Killian's Bière Roussé red beer, 6.5% alcohol. All right, but that's a French thing. Over here, they have it licensed to Coors since 1981. So Coors Brewing in 81 got a license from them to make the version over here. And so if you look at the website, they show the family members, and they're like, oh, they're so interested. Although the family doesn't own it, they're just like brand promoters or whatever. But it says real fast. So the family was George Killian Lett, L-E-T-T, because I guess they had a daughter. She married a man named Lett. Here's the noise. It's 5.4% now. It was 4.9, but they've increased it. I guess they're trying to get closer to the French version. It says here real fast. Popular beer reviews tend to give the Irish Red a high rating, and many also attest that the beer is eminently suited to drinking with spicy Indian, Thai, or Chinese food. The distinctive Irish red bottle has its ancestry in the bottle used by Lett to hold its original amber lager, and it forms an attractive addition to any collection. And so it's serving temperature 46 to 50 degrees, and so we get in the I'd like to try the French version, but I don't think we can.
Uh-oh. Ronald!
No.
Ronald!
The
What happened to your internet?
pores.
You froze there, Ronald. Ronald! No.
Sorry about that.
Wow.
All right, he's
There we
back.
go.
We're gonna bring him back up.
I don't know what happened. It froze. But anyway, there it is. It's red, right? Fresh red. It's 5.4. It's 5.4 now. It used to be 4.9. Did y'all hear me talking about 1981? They got the license to brew it and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's certified kosher, and it is an American lager, and but it's Irish style. But you know what I'm saying? It's made in America, and it's a lager here. And I'll give you a few tasting notes on their website. I'm looking at their website. I'd like to find the cans. Deep ruby red in color with a dense off-white foam. Yeah, there it is. It's exactly like they're saying. Roasted and toasted caramel characteristics with ale-like fruit esters. Yeah. Toasted and roasted caramel malt introduction with nice bready characteristics in the taste. The mouthfeel full body with medium carbonation, and the finish is well balanced with slight lingering citrus rind and subtle sweetness. So somebody got a machine running. Oh, it's really nice. $7.99 for a 6-pack. I got it at Rouse's. That's not a bad price, really, when you think about it. It's got the little tannic quality. Man, if I could have found the Murphy's Irish Red Ale, I would have brought that, but you can't find that one anymore. Anybody ever had the Murphy's Irish Red Ale? Used to be called Lady Wells Ale.
No.
Nope.
I think I
I
might have
had my
heard of
first
that.
Murphy's beer actually when we did the Irish Stouts. It's my first time having a Murphy's.
Yeah, they're famous for their stout, but there's a beer, and it's called Murphy's Irish Red Ale, and it's in a little strange shaped bottle, 11.2 ounce bottle, and it's at first when I tried it, it was kind of hard to take because it was real strong tannins, like drinking tea leaves, but well, by the time I started loving it, it was gone. But they still make it 5% alcohol. So if you ever see Murphy's Irish Red Ale, buy it. But cheers to y'all. I'm enjoying this one, and I'm sorry that I got frozen up.
Cheers.
Hey, you bounced back pretty good, man. So
If we could all control the way our internet ran, then it'd always run perfectly.
Boot and rally.
And we'd all be in full HD.
Oh, yeah.
And
Right.
beautiful people.
We had a little breakdown. It was weird because when I froze up, I could hear everybody talking, and I could hear Eric screaming, "Run up!" And I was like, I'm trying to get it straight. Okay, that's it. I like it. What can I say? It's enjoyable. I got 4 left after this, and I'm going to enjoy them.
awesome.
Awesome.
It's a good American effort to make an Irish beer.
Mhm.
They don't sell that here. We can't get it.
What?
I can get it
Never
in
looked at
Idaho, but I can't get it here in Oregon.
Weird.
Yeah, maybe in Portland, but not on the coast.
Well, there's only one store in my town that sells it, I'm pretty sure. And they used to sell 24 packs. They used to sell cans, but now they only sell 6 packs of bottles.
Right. Okay. I remember it being in like big cases and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Before we go to miscellaneous magnets, who's like super pushing the
Yeah,
Irish red
you
thing.
remember it used to be in those cans that were shaped with beer barrels.
The fatty cans.
Like Mickey's beer barrel glass bottles.
Or like Foster's
Oh, the big can.
egg cans.
Oil can.
Oil cans, yeah.
You
Well,
should
I
have to punch the hole.
want to welcome Nina.
Hey, thanks.
Okay.
Hi.
Nina, cheers.
Oh. Hola.
How's it going?
Good.
Great.
Good.
Good.
Well, I'm
Right
drinking.
Oh, you're drinking?
I'm drinking Smithwick's tonight.
Hey, all right.
Awesome,
Man.
awesome. So we will get to you. We're going to go to miscellaneous, then it will be Thomas, and then it will be your turn. So hopefully you have a couple of Smithwick's left to
All right.
talk about.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. So what I got here is 81 Bay Brewing Company out of Tampa Bay. It's their real slow Irish red ale, 5.5%. I've never heard of this company, never seen any beers by them, but like I said, I had 3 choices and seen 2 of them up already. So figured I'd go with the one that was local, and I knew you guys couldn't get it. Can date 1/23/2020. Yeah, I don't know. Not too much description. Just jump right into it. As BuMpy said, I've been pushing the Irish red. So finally made it.
Just needed to have a couple of losers on there to get the Irish red to win.
So it's got a nice amber red color to it. Little bit off-white colored head. Tight knit, small bubbles. Definitely got some little bit of roasty notes. Like a beer man said too, like I'm getting like slight caramel toffee notes on the nose. Definitely malt forward. Smells great. So cheers, guys.
Cheers.
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 Prost. Oh, so much.
It's really good. Smooth mouthfeel. Got a great drinkability. I'd say it's about a medium-bodied beer. Definitely getting some roasted malts. Light, very, very faint, like you said, caramel notes. It's really good. I like it. Definitely, I didn't know what to think. I did do a little research on this, and people had their own opinions about this beer and said it was kind of on the fence. Wasn't the same style as the Killians or the Smithwick's. Had a little bit of a different feel to it, but overall, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it. I like this style of beer. That's why I was pushing it. I mean, it's just a nice, easy sit-back, sessionable beer.
That's for sure.
Yep.
I'll get some more notes up after I get into this a little bit more, and when we do the scores, I'll let you know if I get anything else out of it. So, cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thank you, miscellaneous.
See you.
All right. I guess Thomas Mel 75. Massachusetts beer reviews. Type in either or. Find that guy on YouTube. But he's here now with I guess it's an exclusive. The Samuel Adams Brewing Company. Their Brick Red, Irish Red, as Jay Terrio sometimes will say. 5.8% alcohol by volume, and I think this came out. I think it came out around 2018. I could be wrong about that. So the Brick Red's name refers to the brick red, the red brick of the Boston's Freedom Trail, a 2.5-mile path that passes 16 U.S. landmarks, and it's also a tribute to the red brick walls at the Boston Brewery. So they say it should have notes of roasted caramel, hints of earthy, grassy hop character. Again, 5.8% on this one. It's good until September 20th. All right. It did have a little more head, but now it's a nice one finger rim around the Sam Adams Boston Lager glass, and it's definitely that chestnut mahogany red color. Definitely got a little bit more caramel color towards the bottom of the glass. And that's exactly what you're getting, is that caramel toffee sweetness. You're getting maybe like a light toasty malt in there too. A little bit of a nuttiness. Kind of, I'm trying to imagine. I guess it's like a very light amount of like a molasses sort of a syrupy thing, but that might be more of that caramel forward, and then some of the molasses underneath that. It smells like really good toasty, brown bready quality to it. So on that note, cheers, people.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. And man, y'all get all these ones we can't get.
And I'm surprised I found this. Like,
They had that like all over the shelf at the store. It was not the Sam Adams, but the Smithwick's and Killian's.
Travel for this.
This one's probably pretty similar. I haven't had Smithwick's in a long while, but this one's probably similar to that. I'm getting a medium, a light to medium on the medium side of the body. There's a little bit of a stickiness to it from the malts. And it's pretty crisp, clean, and very, very refreshing. Definitely lots of caramel and toffee notes. Definitely some brown bready, toasty malts in there. There is that molasses caramel, kind of a sweet flavor in there. And I'm getting, I don't know if it's apricot or what kind of a fruit is it, but almost like a fruit jammy, very like light, kind of like an apricot fruit jammy kind of a thing I'm noticing in there, mixed in with some grainy texture. Yeah. So pretty good. I think that's a well-represented Irish red right there. I don't have any major complaints. It's not the most complex or overly flavorful beer, but if this is the style we're all reviewing and looking for tonight, good representation. I will be back with the ratings.
Awesome.
Very good.
Yeah.
And I'll try to say the completely different words from what you did about this beer when it comes to me.
All right.
Thanks, Eric.
Same with Nina. I don't know how this is served. We'll find out.
Oh.
Should
Nina, are
all
you
right.
ready?
Sure thing. Why not?
You're gonna get blowed up. Boom.
Why not? Put me up. There we go. Hello. You can see me now. All right. So I got the Smithwick's also. Smithwick's. How do you however you want to say it? I usually only drink this around St. Patrick's Day. That's what it seems to be like on draft at the bar. You know, it's kind of your staple up there with the Guinness and the Harp. Comes out of what do you call it? I think Diego is their importer. It comes from Norwalk, Connecticut, according to the bottle. A lot of beers come into Norwalk, Connecticut, and you'd be surprised, even though they come into Norwalk, you might not be able to get them locally because it's an importer. But anyway, on to the Smithwick's. Now, a lot of times you'd think when you're looking at a beer this color that you'd be able to get like a real smokiness from the smell. And to me, that's not what you get from this Irish red ale. I pick up kind of like a birthday candle, real thin white smoke kind of thing from it, which is very minimal. And I also get that kind of taste also, like you burnt a piece of paper or something, but not like, you know, a big smoldering wet piece of wood. It also has that, you know, typical soapy head of, you know, something that carries this much lacing for such a, I don't know, what do you want to call this? I guess you call it a lighter body than well, I don't know about the body, but a lighter color than a stout. But yeah, let's give this one a taste.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
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 Thank you. So what I like about this beer is the hop. There's a bit of hop to, well, I mean, it's, again, not the center of attention, but It is a little bit of a hop that you get at the tip of your tongue. Your tongue gets coated with this malt. Now, I think my mind plays tricks on me when I look at this. I want to taste something like a cherry wood or some kind of like darkish wood. And I think, like, you ever get those cherry cordials in the box around like a holiday season? Now, it's
Yeah.
not so much the cherry fruit or the chocolate about that you're tasting. I think a lot of it has to do with the storage and the box and the preservative and like what you get with a beer like this, which is shipped overseas. It's kind of gets like a perfuminess to it, but I don't want to say perfume, but like a storage kind of a cask sort of a taste. I don't know. I enjoy this one more so than I would say the brown ale Newcastle. This kind of reminds me of, but it has a crisper finish than what Newcastle is now. Very drinkable. Again, goes well with fried food, kind of like a Narragansett. A lot of times you'll see Yingling has its lager is kind of along these lines. It has a somewhat of like, the regular lager Yingling has a note like this. I don't know. It's very drinkable. I would order more than one if I was at a bar that was an Irish bar, like fish and chips night at the bar. This would be a great beer to drink with that.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, I'll enjoy this.
Nice. That was excellent. Jesus.
Very good, very good.
Put you to shame, man. Put you to shame.
That was just great.
That's what I'm known for now, is eating all the cheese.
Not all of it.
So let me
across the cup.
let's see, push the right buttons. Here I am. Look, I got the same thing that Eric has.
Exclusive to New England.
I'm not going to read the story about the red bricks that line the 16 miles of the Freedom Trail in Boston and all that stuff, because you've already heard it. This is a 5.8% ABV beer with 25 IBUs. It does have a kind of khaki colored yellowish head, fairly large bubbles mixed in there. So the head is going to dissipate fairly quickly, but it does have a nice amber red hue to it. And it's very clear as well for an ale. Nice. All right. The aromas. Yeah, it's got like a nice malty kind of caramel sweetness to it. A little bit of a kind of fruity undertone. I'd say it's kind of along the lines of like a plum or cherry type aroma in the fruit, but not like coming out straight up like that. But it does have a little bit of fruitiness, which could be coming from more than likely the yeast versus the hops.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a biscuity nose in there as well. So, cheers. First swig.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Do you enjoy that swig?
You're getting kind of the biscuity, the kind of like dark bread crust notes coming through. The graininess, I guess, is what they were kind of lean towards a little bit, but it is kind of like a fairly cooked biscuit type note in there. And then there's that caramel sweetness, and there's almost a hint of sweetness from the candied apples with the red candy coating. I don't know what that is, but it kind of reminds me, the flavors that I get, it kind of reminds me of the candied apple coating. Almost like a Belgian candy type deal going on with the sweetness. Now, with all that sweetness that's in there, along with a kind of toasty, biscuity type flavor. There is a little slight bit of a bitterness at the tail end, kind of on the, I'd say, more of the earthy side of a hop. But very well balanced overall. The sweetness never comes off as cloying. Easy to drink, pretty flavorful, and I'm enjoying this one. That's all I have to say about it. So we can go ahead and move on to giving out scores, talking about your channel, what's coming up, all that stuff as we go around. We're going to go from Beer Man, go around. I'm going to go hit the restroom real quick because I want to be comfortable. All right. So I'll be back. So Beer Man, go ahead and start talking about stuff.
All right. Well, I've been kind of adjusting my palate to this beer, and I had an IPA before this, so let me just kind of reiterate what I was tasting. I'm getting kind of like a cherry Coca-Cola, and there's a bit of a fizz on the tongue, which is kind of like a bitter, like you said, Nina, with the hops. Kind of a hoppiness on the tip of the tongue, but it rolls back into this sweet, nice caramel. I do get that hint of toffee, though. I do get, and it's really slight, though, but it's very, very easy to drink. It's very, very smooth and creamy on the mouthfeel. The body is a medium light body. It's just really nice, and I would totally drink this as well at a bar if I was partying, on fucking St. Patrick's Day. So. It would be awesome. This is good, really good. Out of 5 hops, or even 100 score, let's go 100. I would give this. It's up to par, with everything that I've been reading a little bit about the red ale, the Irish red, the Irish, this that, and it seems like it's got pretty much everything I was looking for and what I've studied. I'll give it a 90, 97. It's not bad.
All right. Wow. Nice.
Cheers.
Nice.
Wow.
Cheers. Oh, if you want to hit my my channel up tomorrow, I got beer and cheese at 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern, and then Wednesday I do a recipe thing where I build a recipe, and this week's recipe is the fucking hello, what's in my head right now? I can't think right now. Never mind. I can't think of what I was doing. I can't think of the beer I was doing. What's wrong with me?
Hefeweizen?
Fuck, a Saison, dude.
There you
go. I'm doing a Saison.
Yeah,
I've got 3 of them in my fridge, and we're good to go. Sorry, I'm good to go. All right. Cheers.
Rock on.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Gotta hit me on the head a few times.
How many lumps would you like?
The man, the myth, the legend. Ronald J. to you.
It is your turn, Ron.
I'm just waiting to be called. I don't want to. I don't want to be. I don't want to be forward. I don't want to be.
Well, it's a good thing that I have a small bladder.
Now, Ronald Terry.
Oh my God.
I guess that's a good thing. Maybe not for a beer drinker. Okay, so the Killian's Irish Red, Colorado Lager. I really like it. I mean, I could drink this every day and I never get bored with it, I can assure you. And they're talking about spicy Indian food and the spicy seafood and all that. Oh, I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Now, I will score it, and I'm glad they upped the alcohol to 5.40. That's more where I want to be. 4.9 is not enough. So I'm going to say that 93 out of 100. Now, some people are going to say, there he goes again. He's a shill. He's a shill for the macros. He's a shill for the macros. No, I'm not. Where's my money if I'm a shill? Where's my payout? I need some money. I'll shill all day, but I don't have it. So I'm just saying I like it.
Nice. That's all. That's awesome.
Right. Are you listening, Molson Coors?
Bring him your $1 bills.
I'll make 3 or 4 Coors. I'll make 3 or 4 Molson Coors videos a day. Oh, what's coming up? Tomorrow morning at dawn.
Nice.
Tomorrow morning at dawn, we have Cruzan Gold Rum, aged. It's aged about 3 years, 2 to 4 years, from the United States Virgin Islands. Okay, islands. How do you say that? Islands. I'm from the South, so we say island.
Some people say islands.
All right.
It's the islands.
What you got there?
And the competitor is Bacardi 10-year aged.
Huh.
And it's not going to be a challenge because Bacardi 10-year age is going to destroy the Cruzan. But, oh well, I always do everything against everything else. So it is what it is. I mean, then Wednesday night we got Wild Card Wednesday, and I have something good to bring. Oh, look at this man, Oakheart.
Spiced rum.
Wasn't that a movie with the guy from Mad Max? Oh no, that was Braveheart.
Good movie.
All I know is it goes well with eggnog.
Those were the Scottish people. We're drinking Irish.
It's not Scottish, it's crap.
Did you see what Whiskey Scout said there?
That was on my last video.
Nasty versus nastier. Oh. I don't know if you want
And
to
I'm going to say hater versus hater.
I don't know if you want to see something called nasty versus nastier on the internet.
Now, Whiskey Scout.
We love that guy.
How can you come on the internet and talk about how Bacardi 10-year age is nasty? It is not nasty. It is a jewel. It is a jewel. It is wonderful. And I got a great deal on it too.
That's why I drink it.
Oh, that's funny.
Miscellaneous. I think it is.
I
think
really
it's an
liked
empty
it,
glass.
man. Yeah, the 81 Bay for score, I'll give it I'll stay with a solid 90. It was really good beer. Other notes that I got as I started drinking it more, similar to some of the others said, it had a very nice malty coating, and then as it started to dry, I got a hoppy, bitter earthiness, like a grass, almost like a hay-like taste out of it, which really wasn't off-putting, kind of balanced out. Didn't stick around too long, but I would buy this again, hands down, without a doubt. Very good, because I you know me, I don't praise my local Florida beers too much, and I would buy this again. I actually broke this off of a pack because I didn't want to buy the whole pack because I was on the fence. Now I wish I would have bought the whole sixer. But other than that, I'm impressed. I'm glad finally got this out of the way.
Me too. Stop going up.
I know it's. It was either we're gonna get it out of the way, or you said we're gonna have to wait till St. Patty's Day. So.
That's right.
Don't age that beer. Don't do it.
No, don't.
Hmm.
On that note, I'm thirsty. I gotta get something else to drink.
Okay. I will take the floor, Mr. President, or Mr. Speaker. Brick Red, BuMpY's drinking one. I got one. Mine is again good until September 30th, 2020. I said the 20th earlier, but 10 more days on that. All right. So it's getting decent enough scoring on Untapped with a 3.72 rating, and Beer Advocate says an 84. I'm going to go one step above Beer Advocate and give it an 85 out of 100. Now, I'm noticing that absolutely nothing is wrong with the Irish red ale style, or the Irish red just in general style. But for me, I guess I noticed that I like drier beers in general. This one does dry. To me, it does dry pretty well, but it's got a lot of that upfront toffee, bready, kind of molasses, caramel, sweet flavors to it more than I really care for, I guess. I do like malts. I do like hoppy beers too. For me, I would like a little bit more balance between hops and malt, just so that it didn't start out as a borderline or a sugary mess. But it's definitely not that sugary. But I think if they went any further with malting, it could have been more of a sugary mess. So just with that one alone, I think it's an 85. But the base flavor is enough make this one a red ale that I would, and obviously this is the second time I bought the 4-pack, will go back to when I'm looking for a red ale that I know is going to be stocked in Massachusetts or probably Rhode Island, and obviously
Sounds like a winner.
it's pretty good.
Guess you kissed the bricks with that one.
Any shout outs, anything like that you want to talk about?
Yeah, Thomas Metal 75. That is the name of the channel. Massachusetts Beer Reviews. I just put out a blind vodka tasting. That was insightful.
Wow.
I caught that. That was fun.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I don't know if I want to do any more like that, but that was kind of interesting. Wednesday, Jay Terrio. I bought the Mexican beers. We're doing that in the next 2 weeks, so I'm ready for that.
Cool.
Yeah, on the first Wednesday in June.
Yep, I'm ready.
Right on. Nice.
And Nina, are you ready?
Oh, sure. I'll give you a closing note on this beer. I would say this would have to be my favorite of the Irish reds that I normally come in contact with. I don't think I'm too well versed. I'd be excited to give the Sam Adams a try if I was to come across that. Maybe it'll be available on throughout the year. I don't see why not. I thought something interesting about this old style beer, the Smithwick's. I was thinking maybe a beer like this was designed for a time period before refrigeration was common for every household. You know, back when you had a block of ice or something to keep your beer cold at best. I had a friend who always drank Molson Golden, and I used that as justification to buy this beer, the Smithwick's red ale, at this time of year. Their argument was always that was the best beer to keep in a cooler because you could drink it even, if it was, red hot warm in the sun. It was always a good tasting beer. And I could see something like this kind of falling into that sort of section. I guess this is the most popular ale, or not popular, but the most consumed ale in Ireland, Smithwick's. So I guess there's a reason behind all of that. 300 years of brewing it. Something that had me wondering about Ron's beer. You mentioned Molson Coors taking that one over. I wonder if there was a time period when that beer was out of print, when you couldn't get it before it was reintroduced by Molson Coors.
Yeah, it was before you joined, and I had froze up for a moment. Well, they didn't take it over exactly. What happened was the company went out of business in 1956. And then a French company called Pelforth Brewing bought the rights to it and started making it in France as a red ale.
All right.
6.4% red ale. But somehow they made a deal with Coors Brewing in 1981. And they said, well, we'll give you the license to brew it in America under our supervision. And they said, okay. So for the last 39 years, it's been brewed in America by Coors under a licensing agreement with the owners of the brand. So they don't own it; they just brew it under contract.
Brewed on merit. What do you like? Just
Sort of
like
like a rental agreement, like they rent it out to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they giving them a pay. Yeah, and I'm sure Pelforth gets a percentage of the sales. You know, whatever. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's a solid beer, the Smithwick's, and Killian's, I guess, brewed in America now, kind of a different spirit. Yeah, I don't drink too many ales. I've had my eyes peeled for Golden Anniversary for a while, and I think they call that an ale. Yeah, the ale market. Yeah. So I don't really have too much content coming up on my channel or planned or anything. I've got a couple of oddball beers in my fridge that I was going to review. One of them being Stella Artois, which I find a very dehydrating beer. And I've got an old Rolling Rock kicking around in the back of my fridge. That's another beer that I do enjoy drinking. One thing I was thinking of while drinking my Smithwick's was if I was sitting at a bar and eating, this might be one of the beers that I would ask for a bottle of water with, or not a bottle of water, a glass of water maybe with my food also, because there is that drying quality of this beer that you do find in a stout where, it is a sessionable beer, but it is something that you would like to, be hydrated before. It's not a lawnmower beer, in my opinion. It might be for somebody. But yeah,
you had me going there
because
actually in my hometown we have a brewery called Oddball Brewing.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Beers, really? They're distributing.
But I would call this a gourmet beer. I've heard that descriptor out there before. A red ale being a gourmet. And it tends to be, on a when you're trying to build your menu as a brewery or like a brew pub, you often see a red ale, as something to make your rack of beer that you could bring to the bar or sell at a table. It's just it's a dynamic brew. And I saw that I've never actually had one before, but there's a Guinness Black and Tan with Smithwick's that's they were calling it the Black Smith. I'd be excited to try one of those, next time I have access to both. I never.
What was your score again, Nina?
I'm going to go with a 95 on this one. I think this is a great beer in the style.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I missed it. You didn't say it yet.
I didn't
95.
say it.
Whoa.
95.
Oh,
95. Stay alive.
That's a good score.
I'm actually dying to watch that movie this time of year, Saturday Night Live. Not Saturday Night Fever.
So for my scoring and stuff on the Samuel Adams Brick Red Irish Red Ale, I like this one. It's not my favorite one I've had. There's actually one that's made here in New Hampshire, which last time we had the Irish Red on the poll. I went out and I bought everything that's on the poll just in case, because I don't know what's going to win. And I don't always want to wait until the last minute just in case I can't find something. So usually I go out and start searching right away as soon as the poll is created. And I had one from my local one of my local breweries, Swift Current, and they make one that's called Murphy's Governor Murphy's Dam. That's what it's called. And that one's really good. Real good biscuit notes out of that and everything. But for the Sam Adams, not bad. There's still the biscuit notes and stuff like that in there. I like the sweetness. I like being able to pick up the caramel, that kind of like candy apple sugar type red crystallized sugar or whatever. Like I said, I was kind of picking up on. I think it was pretty well made. It's easy to drink. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 92 out of 100.
Whoa.
So I'm above Beer Advocate, what other people thought.
Yep.
And I know Irish Reds can kind of be not so liked style as well. So maybe that's why it scored lower. But
Can you
That's
show the
good.
label again? Can you show the bottle again?
blow it
Man,
up.
I'll
Too.
never see that. I'll never see that beer. Thanks for making me jealous. I think I tried it years ago, about 10 years ago.
They have
They
another
cut back
one.
on their dish.
They had a different Irish red. It was just called Samuel Adams Red Ale. This is different.
Oh, that was the one I had. Oh yeah, that was the one I had. Yeah, the Irish red.
They're both Irish reds, so I don't know if they just took the red ale recipe and like beefed it up a little bit more or what.
Well,
Oh,
man,
and
it's good. At
my
least you enjoyed it.
mine
I know you said you don't
expires
like
in June.
the Irish red.
Well, I better get off the air, y'all. But I've been up so long. But thanks for letting me join.
No, yeah, thanks for
Cheers,
joining,
Ron.
Ron.
Cheers, Ron, man.
Thank you, Ron.
Appreciate having you on here all the time. We don't know. We got to build up the next poll. I don't know what's going to be on it. Irish red will not be on it. Know that. Along with like 30 other beer styles.
Before you take off, Ron, now I couldn't locate the Best By date or the brew-on date for any of these Diego beers. I wonder if they even bother putting one on with all the effort they go through importing it. I found that kind of disappointing, and I know that you would disparage this beer for not having a clear Best By or Born on date on it.
I'd have to look at that. Diageo, yeah, it's pronounced Diageo.
Okay.
It might be at the bottom of the label, the bottom of the bottle. I'm not sure.
Seeing a brown bottle, I don't know. It almost looked like either mine didn't get
Probably
printed on. I doubt it would be
probably not a
on.
Best By date. It's probably a Born on date, but I'd have to look at it. I almost bought Smithix on Saturday, so I wish I had bought it. Then I could have helped you.
Yeah.
But I don't. Anyway, well, y'all, huh?
I have a tough time figuring out Corona. Also, that's another one with those mystery Best By date.
Recently, everyone's been having a tough time with Corona.
Oh, that's cold. No, the good thing about Corona beer is that
Beat everybody to the punch there, bud.
If you look at the Corona beer website, if you look at Corona USA website, there's a little area where it shows you how to translate their codes.
Yeah, I think I tried that once and had no dice. Maybe mine was so old that it was out of the spectrum of their date code reader. Well,
yeah, we can talk about that off air one day.
The more you know.
All right, well, y'all take care now.
Right. Thank you for your joining again, Ron. Appreciate you.
Thank you, and I appreciate you inviting me and letting me join.
Oh yeah, you're always welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I said I was throwing the Alexisms out there because I said appreciate. No. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on my channel. I say the same thing all the time. It's always the same things going on my channel. Multi Mondays. If those that are here that are watching, I mean, it starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We create a poll right after this for it's gonna be put out. The poll's gonna be put out in the various Google Hangout chat rooms that I'm involved with. If you are a viewer or on the panel and not part of one of the chat rooms that we're in, I will also post it in the description of this video once it goes up. Uploaded. It's uploaded to YouTube. So you can find it there. The poll in there to vote. Also, if anybody ever wants to join up on panel, I don't have a set panel crew. I do have some repeat offenders that come on but it's not set in stone as to who's going to be here. Anybody's welcome. I just ask that you bring the beer that we're doing, and try not to make a brawl out of it. We did have Drewski last week that wanted to just come on and try to start a fight, so that didn't work out. So I ask that you don't do that, but just bring the beer, talk about the beer style that we're doing, and all is good. If you cannot find the beer and whatnot, and you want to just join and watch, feel free to do that as well. If you have the beer and you just don't feel comfortable coming up on panel, please drink along in the chat. You can talk about it in the chat room as well, because I do put the comments up on here. So after we go through the BJCP guidelines and stuff, you're drinking the beer, maybe you can put out some tasting notes that you're actually tasting on it. I think that'd be cool. So the polling will go up hopefully sometime tonight throughout the interwebs and hangouts and all that stuff, and everybody can start voting on it. There's going to be 4 different styles that we have not done yet. That's how this goes. We're going through all the different beers. So the polling comes down. I always say that it comes down after Wildcard Wednesday. For those that don't watch Wildcard Wednesday or know, it usually ends 8:30 Eastern time on Wednesday. So basically, poll goes up tonight. You have a couple days to do some voting, and that gives everybody that wants to try to find the beer time to get it. Because I will put out the video on my channel. It's a very short video, just saying you don't have to watch it because I actually put right in the thumbnail, like the description of what the video is, and it says what the beer is that won. So you don't even have to watch the damn video. I just put out the video for whatever reason, but that will tell you what beer to bring for the upcoming Multi Monday.
Good
That's
analytics.
how this all works. So the fun thing is, when you're part of the panel, you are involved with creating the poll if you want to be. No mandatory stuff here. I can create a poll myself if needed. But I do want to thank everybody for coming on panel tonight, for drinking the Irish Reds. I want to thank the chat for coming along, the viewers, those that may just be lurking. Pretty good night. Irish Reds, not bad. Let's try to find another great beer that hopefully people can find for next time. Because we have had some that have been very difficult to find, so we'll do our best to create the best poll we can, so everybody can have fun voting. Because voting's always fun. It's like waiting for Christmas, right?
You should see the curiosity on my bottle shop guy's face.
No comment.
What is it going to be this week?
Thanks for having us, BuMpY.
Yeah,
Thank you.
For sure, man.
Yeah, thank you.
But we're going to go ahead and take this off stream, and we can hang out, and if you want to, Nina, hang out off there, and let's create a poll. Let's try to get Drunken One in here too, because he wants to help with creating the poll.
Really?
He's the pole dancer.
He started one, I guess, right? I thought so. I see, but
cheers, guys.
Cheers, yo.
Oh.
Salute.
Have a fantastic night, and I hope everybody had
Happy
a great
Memorial
Memorial
Day.
Day.
Rest in peace.
Definitely.
Just
all our
remember
fallen
all
soldiers,
the folks that are in our armed forces that are out there risking their lives every day for our freedom. And appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers, everyone.